My name is Sarah Mitchell. I'm 28 years old. 3 minutes ago, my mother grabbed the microphone at my wedding and screamed in front of 220 guests. Stop this ceremony right now. This girl is not my biological daughter. She is illegitimate, a charity case I took in out of pity. And now she's trying to steal from this family through marriage. I will not allow this fraud. She pointed straight at me in my white wedding dress. My sister Rebecca nodded and smirked. My father stared at the floor. The room went dead silent, except for the cameras my mother had invited to capture her perfect family. My fiancé Ben didn't let go of my hand. They had no idea he had spent the last 8 months quietly preparing for this exact moment. And what happened in the next 11 minutes didn't just stop the wedding. It destroyed the entire life she built on lies. If this story is already hitting close to home, please take a moment to like and subscribe. And I'd love to know. Drop a comment below. Where are you watching from? And what time is it where you are right now? But to understand how we got here, I need to go back 6 weeks. Late January. My mother's annual charity gala, the Ashford Foundation for Children. Her pride and joy, founded 8 years ago when she joined the city council. The ballroom was packed with Riverside's most important people. Donors in expensive suits, politicians glad-handing, press photographers circling like sharks. I was working coat check, not as a guest, as a volunteer. While my sister Rebecca, 30 years old and already a political consultant, mingled with the donors in a designer dress that cost more than my monthly rent. I watched my mother, Victoria Ashford, councilwoman, charity founder, woman whose campaign slogan was literally, "Every child deserves love," introduce Rebecca to Gerald Hutchins, a major donor who'd given $10,000 last year. "Rebecca is following in my footsteps," Victoria said, her hand on Rebecca's shoulder. Stanford graduate, already making waves in political consulting. Then she glanced at me behind the coat check counter. "And Sarah here helps with the foundation when she can. She's learned so much about gratitude working with underprivileged children." The dismissive wave of her hand, the tone that made helps sound like occasionally shows up. The word gratitude, like I should be thankful for the privilege of hanging coats at her event. I smiled. I'd learned to smile through it. Behind Victoria, hanging from the ceiling in huge gold letters, was the foundation's banner. "Every child deserves love." I stared at it while I took another donor's coat. Felt something twist in my stomach. Ben showed up at 8:30. He wasn't on the guest list. Victoria hadn't invited him. He came as my +1, drove 40 minutes from downtown after work to be there for me. He found me at coat check. "How's it going?" "Fine." I handed him a claim ticket. "Your coat." He looked at me for a long moment. Ben has this way of seeing through me. We'd been together 2 years, engaged for 3 months, and he could always tell when I was lying. "What happened?" "Nothing. Just the usual." He glanced over at Victoria, who was introducing Rebecca to another donor. Same script. Same glowing description of Rebecca. Same afterthought mention of Sarah. His jaw clenched. In the car later, he asked, "Why does she talk about you like that?" "Like what?" "Like you're a project, not her daughter." I didn't have an answer. I'd been asking myself that question for 28 years. 3 weeks later. Wedding dress shopping. Bella Sarah Bridal, the nicest shop in Riverside. Victoria insisted on this place. "Only the best for my daughter's wedding," she'd said. Which sounded generous until you realized she meant it gave her control over every choice. I tried on 7 dresses. The first one I loved. Simple, lace sleeves, fitted bodice. I stepped out of the dressing room and saw Victoria's face. "Too expensive." "Mom, it's $1,800. That's actually on the lower end here. Rebecca's prom dress cost less. You need to be realistic about budget." Rebecca's prom dress had cost $2,500. I knew because I'd seen the receipt. The second dress, an A-line with delicate beading. I felt beautiful in it. Not appropriate for your figure. I'm a size 6. The dress fit perfectly. Mom? Sarah, be realistic. You're not a runway model. That dress needs a certain height, presence. You'd drown in it. The seamstress, a woman in her 50s with kind eyes, gave me a subtle headshake. Don't fight this battle. The third dress. The fourth. Victoria found reasons to veto each one. Too revealing. Too plain. Too modern. Wrong neckline. Then she picked one. High neck. Long sleeves. Conservative cut that made me look like I was going to a funeral, not my wedding. This is perfect. Classic. Elegant. This is the one. I looked at myself in the 3-panel mirror. Didn't recognize the person staring back. Try it on properly, Victoria said. We need to see the full effect. I stood on the platform. The seamstress pinned the hem. Behind me in the mirror, I could see Victoria, satisfied smile on her face. Behind her, Rebecca trying on dresses for fun, laughing, visual hierarchy, even in the mirror. The price, $3,200, more than the dresses I'd loved. As we left, the seamstress slipped me her card, whispered, "If you want to alter it after the wedding, make it more you, I can help. No charge." In the parking lot, Ben picked me up. I'd texted him when we were done. All set, I said. Forced brightness. Got my dress. Can I see a picture? Bad luck before the wedding. He looked at me. Really looked. Sarah, why are you crying? I'm not. I wiped my eyes quickly. Allergies. Mascara on my fingertips. He didn't say anything, just drove. But that night, something changed. I didn't know it then. But that was the night Ben decided to find out the truth. It started in May, 8 months before the wedding. Ben was working on an estate case at his firm, Morrison and Associates, downtown Riverside. He's an estate planning attorney, deals with trusts and wills and complicated family financial situations all day. He was reviewing tax documents for a client when he saw my mother's foundation's 990 form. Public record. Anyone can access nonprofit tax filings. The Ashford Foundation for Children raised $280,000 last year. Victoria paid herself $144,000 in administrative salary. 51% of donations going to the founder's salary. The IRS recommends nonprofits keep administrative costs below 25%. Ben stared at that number for a long time. Then he started looking deeper. He pulled our family photos from my apartment. The albums Victoria kept in pristine condition, arranged chronologically. Rebecca as a baby, 20 photos. Rebecca as a toddler, 30 photos. Rebecca's first day of school, Christmas mornings, birthday parties. Sarah's section started on page 23. One stiff formal portrait when I was about 2 years old. No context, no baby photos, no candid shots. Ben flipped through slowly. Something was wrong. Then a photo fell out from between the pages. Old, faded. A woman holding an infant. The woman looked exactly like me. Same face, same dimple, same nose and smile. Written on the back in faded pen. See and baby, September 1998. Ben turned the photo over, stared at the woman's face, then at the date, September 1998, the year I was born. He went home that night and did something he hadn't done before. He searched public records for Victoria Ashford's family. What he found made him go very still. Birth certificates, 2 of them, filed the same day in 1970. Victoria Marie Ashford, Catherine Marie Ashford. Twins. Victoria had a twin sister, Catherine, and I'd never heard that name in my life. Ben hired a private investigator the next week. July 15th, James Cordell, retired LAPD detective, 23 years experience. Cost $8,500 for a 3-month contract. I need everything, Ben told him. Birth records, death records, hospital files, court documents. Everything about Catherine Ashford and her connection to Sarah. It took Cordell 6 weeks. What he found broke Ben's heart. Hospital records from Riverside General Medical Center, September 15, 1998. Patient, Catherine Marie Ashford, age 23. Admission, 9:30 p.m. Labor and delivery. Outcome, mother deceased, 11:43 p.m. Cause, postpartum hemorrhage, emergency C-section complications. Infant, female, 6 pounds 3 ounces, healthy. Next of kin notified, Victoria Ashford, twin sister. Time, 11:58 p.m. Ben sat in his car outside my apartment at 11 p.m., reading the records. Catherine had died giving birth to a baby girl, to me. Then he pulled up my birth certificate, the one filed with Riverside County, filed September 16, 1998, 9:15 a.m. Mother, Victoria Marie Ashford. Father, Charles William Ashford. Less than 10 hours after Catherine died, Victoria had filed paperwork claiming she gave birth to me. Not adoption papers, not custody transfer. A birth certificate listing herself as my biological mother. That's not adoption. That's forgery. That's fraud. That's erasing someone's existence. Ben whispered in his car. You didn't adopt her. You erased her mother. October came. Ben's investigation deepened. Cordell traced Catherine's belongings through estate records. After Catherine died, her grandmother Eleanor Hayes had kept some of her things. When Eleanor died in 2003, most items went to family members. Some ended up in estate sales. Ben drove to an estate sale in San Bernardino. Eleanor's niece's house, cleared after she passed in 2024. Box after box of old belongings. In one box, buried under photo albums and letters, he found it. A leather-bound diary, 156 pages, dated January through September 1998. He bought the entire box for $125. That night, alone in his study at 2:30 a.m., he opened the diary. Catherine's handwriting. Neat, careful script. January 18th, 1998. Positive test. I'm pregnant. I'm terrified. Michael left when I told him. Mother and father won't return my calls. January 21st, 1998. Victoria is the only one who called. Everyone else abandoned me. Mother, father, my so-called friends, but Victoria called. She came over. She held me while I cried and told me I wasn't alone. She said, "You're my sister, my twin. I will never abandon you. We'll get through this together." I believe her. She's all I have left. Ben turned pages slowly. March 3rd, 1998. Mother and father officially disowned me today. Told me never to contact them again. Victoria took me to her house. She and Charles set up the guest room for me. Victoria put flowers on the dresser. She and Charles took me to my first doctor's appointment today. The doctor said the baby is healthy. Victoria held my hand during the ultrasound. She cried when we heard the heartbeat. She whispered, "She's beautiful already. You're going to be such a good mom." I hope she's right. I'm so scared, but at least I'm not alone. June 12th, 6 months pregnant. I made Victoria promise something today. I don't think anything will go wrong. The doctor says I'm healthy, but I'm still scared. So I made her promise. If anything happens to me during delivery, she'll raise my baby with love. Not just raise her, love her, as if she were her own daughter. Victoria cried. She took both my hands and swore to me. She said, "Catherine, nothing is going to happen to you. But if it does, if the unthinkable happens, I promise I will love your daughter as my own. She will never want for anything. She will know love every single day. I promise on my life. I believe her. She's my twin, my best friend. She would never break a promise to me. Ben's hands were shaking. September 10th, 1998. 5 days until due date. I'm scared but excited. I'm going to name her Sarah. It means princess. She deserves to be treated like royalty, even if her grandparents don't want her. September 14th, 1998, 8 p.m. Labor started 2 hours ago. Victoria is driving me to the hospital right now. She's holding my hand. I asked her again. Promise you'll love her if I don't make it. She said, Catherine, you're going to be fine. You're going to hold your daughter in 3 hours and this will all be a memory. But yes, I promise, I will love her as my own. She will never doubt it, not for a single day. Then Victoria smiled at me and said, she's going to be so loved. By both of us. I believe her. I have to. The last entry. Written hours before Catherine died. Ben closed the diary, put his head in his hands, looked at a photo of me sleeping on his phone, whispered to the photo, your mother loved you, and the woman who promised to protect you stole you instead. I grew up thinking something was wrong with me. College applications 2016. Rebecca got into Stanford. Full tuition, room and board. $240,000 over 4 years. Victoria and my father, Charles, threw her a celebration party. I got into UC Riverside. Good school, close to home. I was excited. Victoria's response. Well, it's affordable at least. You'll live at home, obviously. We can't cover 2 college educations. I took out $15,000 in loans, worked part-time, lived in my childhood bedroom until I was 22. Rebecca drove a BMW her father bought her for her 16th birthday. $35,000. My 16th birthday. The bus pass works fine. You need to learn responsibility. Christmas mornings, Rebecca averaged 12 to 15 gifts. Big ticket items, laptop, designer clothes, concert tickets. I averaged 4 to 6. Practical things, school supplies, socks, a book. At family events, Victoria introduced people differently. This is my daughter Rebecca, Stanford graduate, political consultant. This is Sarah. No possessive, no accomplishments, just Sarah. Thanksgiving 2025, 2 months before the wedding. Victoria raised her glass for a toast. To my Rebecca, who makes me proud every day. Big smile. And to Sarah, who, well, she's here. Some guests laughed. Ben watched my forced smile from across the table, later driving me home. It's fine, I said. I'm used to it. You shouldn't have to be used to it. I went quiet. That night, Ben made a decision. He accelerated the investigation. November. Ben discovered the real reason, the trust fund. He got a phone call from Richard Chen, a trust attorney at Henderson and Associates in Los Angeles. They'd worked together on estate cases before. Ben, I have an ethical dilemma. Your future mother-in-law just contacted us about a trust. Normally I can't say anything, but this felt wrong. Ben sat up straighter. What trust? The Eleanor Hayes Trust. Established 1993. $2.5 million. Beneficiary. Any direct biological descendant of Catherine Marie Hayes, to be released when the descendant turns 30. Who is Catherine? Pause. Catherine Hayes. Born Catherine Ashford. Died 1998. The trust is from Catherine's maternal grandmother. Wait, you don't know about Catherine? Ben's blood went cold. No. Victoria Ashford contacted us last month, October 28th. She's trying to contest the beneficiary status. She claims Sarah Mitchell, your fiancé, is not Catherine's biological child. that Sarah was adopted. She wants the money to revert to her as Catherine's surviving twin sister. Ben closed his eyes. There it was. The motive. $2.5 million. I turned 30 on September 15th, 2028. 2 years from now. That's when I would get the money. Unless Victoria could prove I wasn't Catherine's biological daughter, which is exactly what she planned to do. Wedding planning. December through February. Victoria took control of everything. Guest list, venue, catering, flowers, music, even my dress, the guest list especially. Victoria insisted on 220 people. This is an important event for our family, Sarah. We have a reputation to maintain. Her contacts made up 65% of the list. Political donors, city council colleagues, foundation board members, important families, Ben's family and friends, 25%. My friends, 10%, 22 people. I'd fought for 30. Victoria cut it down. We have limited space. Be realistic. She invited press, 3 media representatives, Mark Torres, her campaign photographer, a local society page writer, a freelancer who worked for the local news station. Why do we need press at our wedding? I asked. Darling, this is about more than you and Ben. This is about family legacy. Image. The Ashford Foundation needs positive coverage. Everything was about the foundation. Everything was about her image. The wedding budget, $85,000. Victoria insisted on covering it, which sounded generous until you realized it meant I had no say in anything. Final planning meeting, February 20th. Victoria told the wedding coordinator, "Make sure the press has good sight lines during the ceremony. I want them to capture the family together. This is about legacy." Under the table, Ben's hand tightened on mine. Ben knew she was going to do something. He just didn't know what. February 15th. He filed a criminal complaint with the Riverside County District Attorney's Office. He'd been building the case for 8 months. 89 pages of evidence. Hospital records showing Catherine gave birth. Birth certificate showing Victoria claimed she gave birth. Signature analysis showing forgery. Catherine's diary documenting Victoria's promise. DNA test results. Ben had tested my DNA against Victoria's using a hair from my brush and saliva from a glass she'd used at a family dinner. Results. 0% parent-child genetic markers. Victoria was not my biological mother. He'd also tested my DNA against Patricia Hayes, Catherine's cousin, Eleanor's other grandchild. 25% shared DNA, consistent with first cousin once removed. Proving I was in Catherine's maternal line. Proving I was Catherine's daughter. The DA reviewed the evidence. February 28th. Agreed to investigate. March 5th. The DA requested an IRS audit of the Ashford Foundation. Separate track. March 7th. 4 p.m. The call came. "Mr. Mitchell, the arrest warrant has been issued for Victoria Marie Ashford." Ben sat very still. "When will you execute it?" "We'll wait until after the weekend unless she attempts to flee. We understand there's a family event tomorrow." "A wedding. Riverside Country Club. She'll be there. We'll have officers standing by. If she tries to leave the venue, we'll intervene." Ben hung up, looked at his evidence folder. 8 months of work. Tomorrow it would matter. He also coordinated with his private investigator. James Cordell would attend the wedding, not as security, as a witness. Ben's law school colleague Michael Torres agreed to bring Cordell as his +1. They'd be seated in row K, seat 12, middle back section. Good sightline, near the aisle. Cordell's role: authenticate documents if challenged, testify to the investigation, call police if Victoria tried to flee. He'd have a recorder, backup audio, copy of the evidence package in his car. Night before the wedding. March 7th, 11:30 p.m. Ben and I were in bed. I was excited, nervous, couldn't sleep. Tomorrow's finally here. I can't believe it's real. He held me close. Tomorrow, no matter what happens, I need you to trust me. I do. I trust you with everything. Even if it gets ugly? I pulled back. What do you mean? Your mom? She might cause a scene. I need you to know I've got you, no matter what. Ben, you're scaring me. Don't be scared. Just trust me. Can you do that? Of course. He kissed my forehead, held me until I fell asleep. He stayed awake until 3 a.m., running through every scenario. Wedding day, March 8th, 2026. Perfect weather. 68 degrees. Sunny. Light breeze. I got ready in the bridal suite at Riverside Country Club. Room 204. Hair and makeup started at 10 a.m. Victoria arrived at 12:30 with Rebecca. She swept in wearing a $4,500 lavender Tadashi shoji dress. Hair professionally done. Perfect makeup. Sarah, darling. Air kisses. You look lovely. Try not to cry during the ceremony. Your makeup will run. You never could control your emotions. Backhanded compliment, classic Victoria. She insisted on a mother-daughter photo. The photographer, Mark Torres, Victoria's campaign guy, positioned us by the window. Beautiful. Such a close family. My smile didn't reach my eyes. Rebecca was maid of honor. Victoria had insisted. Rebecca wore an emerald green dress and had been slightly smug all morning. This is really happening, huh? She said while I was getting my hair pinned. You're actually pulling it off. What does that mean? Nothing. Just, you've had a lot of luck lately. Ben, the wedding, everything. Some people just get lucky. I didn't respond. At 2:15, the press arrived early to set up equipment. 2:30, guests started filing in. 2:45, Ben arrived with his groomsmen. 2:50, James Cordell arrived with Michael Torres. Took their seats in row K. 2:55, last guest seated. Victoria was greeting people, shaking hands, playing the perfect politician mother. So wonderful you could celebrate with our family. To the press, this is such a special day. Sarah has been such a blessing to our family. I overheard from the bridal suite, felt sick. My father, Charles, was quiet all morning, distracted. He'd been drinking bourbon in the groom's suite. When Ben's father asked if he was okay, he said, just emotional, giving away a daughter. But Ben watched him. Charles kept checking his phone, checking his watch. He seemed nervous, not emotional. 2:58. Music started. I stood at the top of the aisle, saw 220 faces, saw Victoria in the front row. Perfect posture, perfect smile. Saw Rebecca next to her. Saw Ben at the altar. Steady, calm. My father took my arm. He whispered, I'm sorry. For what? You'll understand soon. Then we were walking, 18 feet to the altar. Ben's eyes never left mine. His expression said, I've got you. I believed him. The ceremony began at 3 p.m. The officiant, David Chen, a professional we'd hired, started with the traditional opening. Dearly beloved, we are gathered here today to witness the union of Benjamin and Sarah in holy matrimony. Standard ceremony language. Welcome. Acknowledgement of families. Statement on marriage. 3 minutes in. 3:04 p.m. The officiant was mid-sentence. And now, as we witness the union of Benjamin and Sarah, Victoria stood up. Front row, aisle seat. She'd positioned herself perfectly. The room went silent. She walked toward the podium. Not running, walking. Slowly, deliberately. This was a performance. Guests gasped. The officiant stopped speaking. Ma'am, is everything? Victoria took the microphone from his hand. I apologize for this interruption. Her voice filled the room. Calm, measured, political. 220 people frozen. 3 cameras. The press. Swiveled to record her. I apologize for this interruption, but I cannot, in good conscience, allow this ceremony to proceed without the truth being known. Pause. Perfect timing. Sarah, she pointed at me, is not my biological daughter. The room exploded in gasps. She is illegitimate, a charity case I took in as an infant out of pity when her birth mother, a woman who brought shame to our family, died in disgrace. Her voice rising now. I raised her. I gave her everything, a home, a name, opportunities she had no right to. Sharper, louder. And now, she is trying to steal from this family through this marriage. She is committing fraud to access an inheritance that does not belong to her. Full volume now, voice cracking. I will not allow it. This wedding is built on lies. And I will not stand by while she... I couldn't breathe, couldn't move. 220 pairs of eyes on me. Rebecca in the front row, nodding, smirking. Charles staring at the floor. Won't look up. Guests turning to stare, whispering. Some pulling out phones. The press cameras, all 3, recording everything. Victoria standing there, chest heaving, righteous fury on her face, waiting for me to crumble, waiting for chaos, waiting for her victory. 4 seconds of silence. Felt like eternity. Then Ben spoke, his voice quiet, calm, attorney voice. That's the first honest thing you've said in 28 years. Victoria's face flickered. Confusion, then anger. Excuse me? You said Sarah isn't your biological daughter. That part is true. The rest? He paused. Victoria, would you like to tell them the rest of the story? Or should I? I just did tell them. No, you told them your version. How about we tell them the truth? With evidence. He gestured toward the back row. James Cordell stood up, pulled an evidence folder from his briefcase, walked down the aisle. The entire room watched him. He handed the folder to Ben. Ben opened it, looked at Victoria. Shall we start with page 1? Or would you like to leave now while you still can? Victoria's voice shaking now. You have no right to. I have 89 pages of rights. Let's begin. Ben pulled out the first document, held it up so guests could see the header. Riverside General Medical Center. He read aloud. Admission date, September 15th, 1998. Patient name, Catherine Marie Ashford. Pause. Age, 23. Reason for admission, labor and delivery. Longer pause. Outcome, mother deceased, 11:43 p.m., postpartum hemorrhage. Infant, female, 6 pounds 3 ounces, healthy. Another pause. Next of kin notified. Victoria Marie Ashford, twin sister, 11:58 p.m. Confused murmuring. Catherine. Who's Catherine? Twin sister? Victoria has a twin? Victoria's face going red. That is private medical information. You have no right. Ben cut her off. I have every right. These are public court records, sealed records that I, as an attorney working on estate matters, had unsealed legally. I whispered, Catherine? First time hearing my birth mother's name. My legs went weak. Ben steadied me. He pulled out 2 more documents, held them side by side. This is Sarah's official birth certificate, filed September 16th, 1998, 9:15 a.m. It lists the mother as Victoria Marie Ashford. Pause. Filed less than 10 hours after Catherine Marie Ashford died giving birth. He held up the second document. This is the hospital's delivery record. It lists the mother as Catherine Marie Ashford. His delivery was surgical. So we have 2 documents. One from the hospital where the birth occurred, listing Catherine as the mother, and one from the county clerk's office, filed the next morning, listing Victoria as the mother. Pause. One of these is a lie. Can you guess which one, Victoria? Victoria sputtering. Catherine, my sister. She couldn't raise a child. She was unmarried, disgraced. I did Sarah a favor. By forging a legal document? I adopted her. It's not. Show me the adoption papers. I. There was a private arrangement. Show me the adoption papers, Victoria. Charles, tell them. Tell them we. Charles, still seated, head down, said nothing. There are no adoption papers because you didn't adopt Sarah. You forged her birth certificate and claimed you gave birth to her. That's called birth certificate fraud. It's a felony. Guests shifting uncomfortably, some checking phones. Rebecca stood up. Okay, so Mom didn't handle the paperwork perfectly, but she raised Sarah. She gave her a home. Sarah should be grateful. Ben's voice cutting through. Rebecca, I'd sit down if I were you, unless you want everyone here to know you've been complicit in this. Complicit in what? Mom told me Sarah was... What did your mother tell you, Rebecca? Exactly? Rebecca hesitated, realizing she might incriminate herself. She said Sarah was trying to steal family money, that she wasn't really, that we needed to. Stop. Before you perjure yourself. Sit down. Rebecca sat, no longer smirking. Ben turned back to Victoria. That was document 1 and 2. I have 87 more pages. But let's skip ahead to my personal favorite. He pulled out a leather-bound book. Does this look familiar, Victoria? Her face went white. That's... Where did you... That's stolen. I purchased this legally at an estate sale. Eleanor Hayes's belongings. Your mother's sister's estate. He opened the diary. This is your sister Catherine's diary. Would you like me to read what she wrote about you? Or should I let Sarah read it herself and learn about the mother she never got to meet? Ben's voice softened. Only time it did. Sarah, I'm sorry you're learning this way. I wanted to tell you privately, but your mother, Victoria, forced my hand. To Victoria, you wanted to expose Sarah in front of everyone. Let's talk about what you've been hiding. He opened the diary to marked pages. He'd tabbed them. January 21st, 1998. He read, Victoria is the only one who called. Everyone else abandoned me, mother, father, my so-called friends. But Victoria called. She came over. She held me while I cried and told me I wasn't alone. She said, You're my sister, my twin. I will never abandon you. We'll get through this together. I believe her. She's all I have left. I sobbed, hand over mouth. This was my mother's voice, the mother I never knew existed. Women in the audience crying, men wiping eyes, looking at Victoria with disgust. Victoria. I did help her. I'm not finished. He turned the page. March 3rd, 1998. 3 months later. Catherine has moved in with Victoria and Charles. Read. Victoria set up the guest room for me. She put flowers on the dresser. She and Charles took me to my first doctor's appointment today. The doctor said the baby is healthy. Victoria held my hand during the ultrasound. She cried when we heard the heartbeat. She whispered, She's beautiful already. You're going to be such a good mom. I hope she's right. I'm so scared. But at least I'm not alone. Charles started crying silently in the front row. Wouldn't look up. I was sobbing. My bridesmaid holding me up. Ben still holding my hand. Another page. June 12th, 1998. Catherine is 6 months pregnant. I made Victoria promise something today. I don't think anything will go wrong. The doctor says I'm healthy, but I'm still scared. So I made her promise. If anything happens to me during delivery, she'll raise my baby with love. Not just raise her, love her, as if she were her own daughter. Victoria cried. She took both my hands and swore to me. She said, Catherine, nothing is going to happen to you. But if it does, if the unthinkable happens, I promise I will love your daughter as my own. She will never want for anything. She will know love every single day. I promise on my life. I believe her. She's my twin, my best friend. She would never break a promise to me. Total silence in the room, just crying. Ben looked at Victoria. You promised to love Sarah as your own, did you? Victoria speechless, mouth opening and closing. Let me help you answer. In the 27 years Sarah has been alive. He turned to the guests. Victoria paid for Rebecca's Stanford education, full tuition, $240,000. Sarah went to state school on loans. Back to Victoria. Is that loving her as your own? We didn't have the money for both. You bought Rebecca a BMW for her 16th birthday. Sarah took the bus. Is that loving her as your own? Sarah needed to learn. At every family event, you introduce Rebecca as my daughter, Rebecca. Sarah is just Sarah. No possessive. Is that loving her as your own? Victoria shouting now. I fed her. I clothed her. I gave her a roof over her head. She should be grateful. Ben's voice quiet but deadly. You stole her. You stole her from the woman who trusted you. And you spent 27 years punishing Sarah for the crime of being born. He turned another page. One more entry. The last one Catherine ever wrote. I whispered. Please don't, I can't. You need to hear this. Everyone needs to hear this. September 14th, 1998. 8 p.m. Labor started 2 hours ago. Victoria is driving me to the hospital right now. I'm in the back seat, and she keeps looking at me in the rearview mirror, telling me to breathe, telling me it's going to be okay. I asked her one more time, promise me, if something happens, promise you'll love her. Victoria said, Catherine, you're going to be fine. You're going to hold your daughter in 3 hours, and this will all be a memory. But yes, I promise, I will love her as my own. She will never doubt it, not for a single day. Then Victoria smiled at me and said, she's going to be so loved by both of us. I believe her. I have to. Ben closed the diary. Catherine died 4 hours later. She died believing her sister would love her daughter. Pause. Sarah, stand up, please. I stood, shaking, to the guests. Look at her, 27 years old, grew up believing she wasn't good enough, believing her mother didn't love her, believing she was the problem. To Victoria, you broke a dying woman's trust. You stole her child. You forged documents. You punished an innocent child for existing. Pause. And you did it for money. Victoria breaking down. I did love her. I tried. But every time I looked at her, I saw Catherine. I saw my sister who died. I saw the family scandal. I saw the shame. I tried to. You tried to love her? Or you tried to erase her mother's memory so completely that no one would ever question your lie? Victoria, no response. A woman in row 7, one of Victoria's foundation board members, stood up, said loudly, I've heard enough, I'm leaving. Walked out. Then another board member. Then 5 more guests. Press cameras capturing Victoria standing alone, mascara running, breathing hard. Rebecca trying to disappear in her seat. Charles still crying. Me in Ben's arms shaking. Ben opening the folder again. We're not done yet. He pulled out trust documents. Let's talk about why Victoria did this. Read, Eleanor Hayes Trust, established June 15, 1993. Beneficiary, any direct biological descendant of Catherine Marie Hayes, to receive full sum upon reaching age 30. Current value, $2.5 million. Sarah's 30th birthday, September 15th, 2028. 2 years from now. Gasps. Victoria knew about this trust. She's known about it for 28 years. He pulled out email printouts. Last October, 6 months ago, Victoria contacted the trust manager. She tried to contest Sarah's beneficiary status. Read Victoria's email. I am writing to inform you that Sarah Mitchell, currently listed as beneficiary, is not the biological child of my late sister Catherine Hayes. She was adopted. Per the trust language specifying biological descendant, I believe the inheritance should revert to Catherine's next of kin, myself. Audible gasps. She was going to steal it? After everything? The trust manager asked for documentation. Victoria said she was working on obtaining proof. Pause. That proof was going to be today. This disruption. Publicly claiming Sarah is illegitimate, not Catherine's biological child. Creating a narrative that Sarah was some random adopted child, not family. To Victoria. That was the plan, wasn't it? Expose Sarah, humiliate her, break up the marriage, and claim she has no right to the inheritance? Victoria. That money should. Catherine would have wanted family too. Catherine wanted her daughter to have it. Sarah is Catherine's daughter. He pulled out DNA results. You want proof of who Sarah really is? Here. Explained. 3 months ago, I had a DNA test done. I compared Sarah's DNA to Victoria's. Result: 0% parent-child match. Victoria is genetically not Sarah's mother. Victoria. I never claimed to be her biological Yes, you did. You filed a birth certificate claiming you gave birth to her. That's exactly what you claimed. Secondary test. I also compared Sarah's DNA to Catherine's cousin, Patricia Hayes, Eleanor's other grandchild. Result: 25% shared DNA, consistent with Sarah being Patricia's first cousin once removed, consistent with Sarah being Catherine's biological daughter. Sarah is Catherine's daughter, genetically proven, legally entitled to the trust, and you, he pointed at Victoria, have been committing fraud for 28 years to steal it. He wasn't done, pulled out tax forms. And while we're discussing fraud, let's talk about your charity. The Ashford Foundation for Children. Slogan: Every child deserves love. Pause for the irony to land. Last year, the foundation raised $280,000. You paid yourself, read from form, $144,000 in administrative salary. Gasps. Someone shouted, "That's over half!" 51% of donations went to your salary. The IRS recommends nonprofit admin costs stay below 25%. More documents. You also charged $68,000 in personal expenses to the foundation over 7 years. Dinners, travel, clothing. Your campaign photographer is paid by foundation funds. Foundation board member in row 4 stood up. Victoria, is this true? Victoria. Those were legitimate business expenses. You've been embezzling from a children's charity? The board member walked out. The last one followed. Ben continued. As of February 15th, I filed a criminal complaint with the Riverside County District Attorney's Office. Victoria. You what? Charges include birth certificate forgery, fraud, identity theft, and nonprofit embezzlement. The DA's office has reviewed the evidence. An arrest warrant was issued yesterday afternoon. Victoria's face. Pure panic. You can't. I'll fight this. I have lawyers. You'll need them. The DA estimates a sentence of 3 to 8 years if convicted. I whispered, Ben, what are you? Ben to me, gently. I'm sorry. I should have told you. But I couldn't risk her finding out and destroying evidence. He gestured to the back row. Mr. Cordell, would you please identify yourself? James Cordell stood. James Cordell, Licensed private investigator, California license number 28364. I've been investigating this case since July 2025 at Mr. Mitchell's request. Every document presented here today has been authenticated. I'm prepared to testify to their validity in court. Ben. Mr. Cordell also witnessed everything that happened here today, including Victoria's public admission that Sarah is not her biological daughter, which contradicts the birth certificate she filed 28 years ago. All recorded and documented. Victoria looked around the room. Half the guests had left, the ones remaining staring at her with disgust or horror. Press cameras still recording. Rebecca crying. Charles broken. Me in shock. Ben standing calm and steady. Folder still open. Victoria's voice small now. I need to leave. Ben. I wouldn't recommend that. There are 2 police officers in the parking lot waiting. They were hoping to avoid a scene. But if you try to flee, they'll arrest you here. Your choice. Ben pulled out his phone. Texted. 2 minutes later, 2 Riverside PD officers entered from the back. Plainclothes detectives, Officers Martinez and Chen, walked down the center aisle, guests parting. Victoria Ashford? Victoria backing away. What is... Officer Martinez. Ma'am, we have an active warrant for your arrest. We need you to come with us for processing. This is harassment. He's lying. Officer Chen. Ma'am, the warrant was issued by a judge yesterday based on evidence review by the DA. This isn't negotiable. Rebecca stood suddenly. Wait. Mom didn't tell me about any of this. I thought... She said Sarah was adopted. I didn't know about the birth certificate. I didn't know about Catherine. I swear I didn't know. Officer Martinez. Ms. Ashford, Rebecca. We'll need to interview you as well, but you're not under arrest at this time. Rebecca to me, desperate. Sarah, I swear I didn't know. Mom told me 2 weeks ago that you were adopted and trying to steal family money. She said we needed to stop you. I didn't know about the forgery. I didn't know about the diary. I didn't know about any of this. I couldn't even look at her. Turned away. Rebecca collapsed back into her seat sobbing. Charles stood finely, voice shaking. Sarah, please look at me. I didn't turn. You knew? Yes. God help me. Yes, I knew. I turned. Fury. For how long? Since the beginning. Since the day you were born. I was there at the hospital when Catherine died. I watched Victoria. I watched her make the decision. I watched her forge the papers. And I signed them. I signed the birth certificate listing us as your biological parents. Shocked murmurs. Why? Because I was weak. Because Victoria said it was the right thing to do. Because Catherine's parents had disowned her and we thought we were giving you a better life, a stable family. And then the years went by and it got harder to tell the truth. And Victoria said if we told you, we'd lose the trust money, we'd go to jail, we'd lose everything. And I was a coward. I chose comfort over truth. I chose my career over your right to know your own mother. 28 years. You had 28 years to tell me. I know. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Sorry doesn't give me back my mother. Charles crying. I know. Victoria as officers moved to escort her. You were nothing. You would have been nothing without me. Your mother was a disgrace. Unmarried, pregnant, shunned by everyone. I gave you a life, a name, a family. And this is how you repay me? I found my voice, quiet but strong. My mother died loving you. She died believing you would keep your promise. And you spent 28 years punishing me for existing. You didn't give me a life. You stole mine. Victoria, speechless. Officer Martinez. Ma'am, we need to go now. Victoria to press. Desperately. This is a setup. He's manipulated her. This is all lies. Ben. The evidence is public record. Your own emails to the trust manager are included. Your own foundation tax forms, Catherine's death certificate, the DNA results. None of this is a lie. It's all documented. Officers escorted Victoria toward the exit. She wasn't handcuffed yet. This was escort for questioning, technically. Booking would happen at the station, but everyone knew. Guests staring, press filming every step. Victoria trying to hold her head up. Mascara ruined, dress rumpled, dignity gone. She passed Rebecca, who wouldn't look at her. Past Charles, still crying. Past Ben, who watched impassively. She stopped at me, tried to say something. Don't. Just don't. She left. All three press people packed up and followed. This was the story now. Officer Chen. Mr. Ashford, Ms. Rebecca Ashford. We'll need you to come to the station as well for questioning. Charles. Am I under arrest? Not at this time, but you're listed as complicit in the birth certificate fraud. Cooperation now will be considered. Charles to me. I'll do whatever they need. I'll testify. I'll tell them everything. I'll try to make this right. I said nothing. Rebecca to me. I'm so sorry. I know you don't believe me, but I'll prove it. I'll do whatever I can. I still said nothing. Both left with officers. Door closed. Silence. 142 guests remaining. Staring. Officiant standing awkwardly. Altar still decorated. Wedding that never finished. Ben still holding my hand. Then, from row 5, Ben's grandmother Rose, 76 years old, started clapping. Slow, deliberate claps. 3 more people joined, then 10, then 20, then the entire remaining room. Standing ovation. Not for a wedding. For truth. For justice. For me. I broke down crying. Ben held me. The applause died down. The officiant, David Chen, cleared his throat. This is unprecedented. Sarah, Benjamin, would you like to... Should we... I looked at Ben, voice hoarse. Can we? Is it legal? I mean, can we actually get married after all that? You're Sarah Catherine Jennings, daughter of Catherine Marie Hayes, born September 15th, 1998, Riverside General Hospital. Everything about you is legal. Everything about you is real. Everything about US is real. Then yes. God, yes. Let's get married. I need something good today. Guests who stayed moved forward to fill empty rows. Changed the feel from sparse to intimate. Rebecca's chair in front row. Empty. Visible reminder. Charles's chair. Empty. The officiant. Let's start from the beginning. A real beginning this time. Fresh opening. Sarah and Benjamin, you asked me to officiate your wedding because you wanted someone who believes in truth and commitment. I think we've seen enough truth today. Now let's see the commitment. Small laughs. Tension break. Sarah, I wrote these vows 3 months ago. Ben said, I'm not changing them. Because I knew who you were then, and I know who you are now. You're the strongest person I've ever met. You survived 28 years in a house that didn't deserve you. You stayed kind when you had every reason to be bitter. You loved people who didn't love you back the way you deserved. And somehow, you still believe in love. Still believe in family. Still believe in hope. I promise to tell you the truth, even when it's hard. I promise to fight for you, even when the enemy is your own family. I promise to be the home you never had. I promise you'll never wonder again whether you're loved, because I will spend every day showing you. And I promise to help you learn about Catherine, to honor her memory, to make sure you know the woman who loved you enough to trust someone who didn't deserve it. I was crying again, smiling through tears. My vows. I don't. I don't know what to say that doesn't sound stupid after what you just did for me. Affectionate laughs. You spent 8 months investigating my family. You collected evidence. You built a case. You coordinated with police. You did all of that while pretending everything was normal, while coming to family dinners and smiling at the woman who did all those things. And you did it to protect me. I didn't know I needed protecting. I thought I was the problem. I've spent my whole life thinking I was the problem. Ben, you gave me the truth. You gave me my mother back, or at least her memory. You gave me my identity. You gave me justice. I promise to trust you even when I'm scared. I promise to let you fight for me. I promise to learn who Catherine was and make her proud. I promise to build a family with you, a real family, based on truth and love and choice. And I promise that our children, voice broke, steadied, our children will never doubt for a single second that they are loved. Ring exchange. With this ring, I thee wed. With this ring, I thee wed. Officiant. By the power vested in me by the state of California, and in the presence of these witnesses who have seen you prove your commitment in the most extraordinary circumstances, I now pronounce you husband and wife. Benjamin, you may kiss your bride. Long kiss, genuine, full of relief and love and survival. Applause, cheers, some crying. 3:41 p.m. Walking back down the aisle as Mr. and Mrs. Mitchell. Empty seats where Victoria, Charles, Rebecca sat. Visible, but not dwelled on. 142 guests standing, clapping, some throwing flower petals. I stopped halfway down, turned to guests, said loud enough to hear, "Thank you for staying, for witnessing, for seeing me." More applause. Reception started at 5. First dance. Songbird by Fleetwood Mac. Why this song? I asked. It was Catherine's favorite. According to her diary, she played it on repeat when she was pregnant with you. I started crying again. You remembered that? I remember everything about her. About you. About your story. Half the room crying watching us dance. Toasts. Ben's father Robert stood. I met Sarah's mother today. Not in person, but through her words. Catherine sounds like she was an extraordinary woman. I wish she were here to see her daughter marry my son. But I think, somehow, she knows. Sarah, welcome to a family that will actually treat you like family. 5:47 p.m. My phone lit up. Ben checked it. It's online. Headline: Riverside Councilwoman Victoria Ashford arrested at daughter's wedding. Fraud, forgery, alleged. By 6:15, 3 more news outlets. By 7, CNN picked it up. I watched a clip. Video of Victoria being escorted by police. Is this real? Is this actually happening? It's real. It's finally real. 6:30. A woman approached nervously. Sarah, I'm Patricia Hayes, Catherine's cousin. You're the DNA match. I know. Ben contacted me last month. I should have reached out sooner. She pulled out a photo. This is Catherine, at her high school graduation. I saw the photo. Catherine looked exactly like me. Same eyes, same smile, same dimple. I look just like her. You do. You look exactly like her. She would be so proud of you. I have more. Photos, stories, her high school yearbook. I'd love to share them with you. When you're ready. Thank you. God, thank you. 8:30 p.m. reception winding down. Ben and I sitting at the sweetheart table, exhausted. This was supposed to be the happiest day of my life. It's not. It is. But it's also the most devastating. I found out I had a mother, and I lost her in the same minute. You didn't lose her. She's been with you this whole time. In your face. in your kindness, in your strength. Do you think she's proud of me? Sarah, you survived Victoria for 28 years. You stayed kind. You stayed hopeful. You built a life. Yes, she's proud. The next week was chaos. March 9th, Victoria formally charged. 3 felony counts. March 10th, released on $50,000 bail. Charles posted it. March 11th, Foundation Board voted to remove Victoria. All accounts frozen. March 12th, Rebecca resigned from her consulting firm. March 13th, City Council called for Victoria's resignation. March 14th, national news, CNN, NBC. Story went viral. March 15th, 127 voicemails on my phone. I stopped checking. Interview requests. Good Morning America. Dr. Phil. Local news. Declined everything. Book deals. Podcast requests. Declined. Ben and I stayed in a hotel suite, ordered room service, turned off phones. I read Catherine's diary cover to cover. First time, alone. Cried for 2 hours, then started writing a list. Things I want to know about Mom. April. Victoria's lawyer contacted the DA plea negotiations. April 2nd. Plea deal accepted. Guilty plea to 2 charges. Birth certificate forgery and fraud. Third charge dropped. Plus, nonprofit embezzlement. Recommended sentence, 3 years prison. 125,000 in restitution. 5 years probation after release. April 8th. Sentencing hearing. Victoria's statement. I made terrible choices. I convinced myself I was protecting my family, but I was protecting myself. I broke my sister's trust. I robbed Sarah of her mother's memory. I stole from children who needed help. I'm sorry. First time saying I'm sorry publicly. Judge. Ms. Ashford, you spent 28 years lying. Your apology now, while noted, does not undo the damage. Sentence. 3 years state prison, 125,000 restitution, 5 years probation, lifetime ban from nonprofit management. Victoria would report to prison May 1st. Charles filed for divorce March 18th. He sent me letters, 3 per week. I didn't respond to the first 8. April 15th. His letter. I don't expect forgiveness. I don't deserve it. But I need you to know, I watched you grow up, and every day I saw Catherine in you. Your kindness, your creativity, your hope. And every day I felt worse about my silence. I robbed you of your mother's love and memory. I can't fix that. But I can tell you every story I remember about Catherine. If you ever want to hear them, I'll wait as long as you need. April 18th. I responded, I'm not ready to see you, but I want to know about Catherine. Write me the stories. Don't call. Don't visit. Just write. Maybe someday we can talk. Not now. Rebecca started therapy March 16th. Texted me once per week. Updates. Apologies. No pressure. April 1st. Her text. I testified for the DA today, against Mom. I told them everything. It made me sick. I never realized how bad it was until I said it out loud. You deserved better. April 10th. I responded, thank you for testifying. I'm still angry, but I believe you're trying. Can we try coffee? Once. Public place. No pressure. April 15th. Coffee. 30 minutes. Awkward. Rebecca cried. Apologized. I mostly listened. I need you to understand I don't trust you yet, but I want to. Someday. I'll earn it. However long it takes. May. Victoria began serving her sentence May 1st. May 8th. I discovered I was pregnant. Home test. 5 weeks along. May 10th. Doctor confirmed. 8 weeks by dating. Conceived around mid-March. Week after the wedding. I'm pregnant. Ben stared. Then crying. Then laughing. We're having a baby, Catherine's grandchild. May 15th. Foundation officially renamed Catherine's Legacy Fund. New mission. Honoring Catherine Marie Hayes by supporting children in need of stable, loving homes. I joined the board. First grant, $50,000 to foster care support. June. Ben and I bought a house, 3 bedrooms, Riverside suburbs, master bedroom, guest room, nursery. Patricia gave me 6 of Catherine's watercolors. Birds, flowers, landscapes. We hung them throughout the house. Coffee with Rebecca. 4th meeting, now weekly. I told her about the pregnancy. She cried. I'm going to be an aunt. Can I be part of this baby's life? Earn it. Keep showing up. Keep being honest. Keep doing the work. I will, I promise. First ultrasound, 12 weeks. Heartbeat. Everything looks healthy. I cried. Catherine should be here for this. She is. In you. In this baby. July 4th. I visited Catherine's grave for the first time. Riverside Memorial Park. Section C. Plot 127. Gravestone. Catherine Marie Hayes, 1975 to 1998. Beloved daughter, forever loved. I brought flowers, sat, read the diary aloud, read the entry from September 10th. I'm going to name her Sarah, Princess, because she deserves everything. Mom, I'm having a baby, your grandchild, and I'm going to tell her about you every single day. She'll know you loved me. She'll know you wanted me. She'll know you trusted the wrong person. But that doesn't mean you were wrong to love. I promise. Left a sunflower. Catherine's favorite. July 15th. Dinner with Charles. First in-person meeting since the wedding. Public restaurant. My choice. He looked thinner, grayer, 10 years older. Brought a folder. Catherine's stories I've written. 47 pages. Everything I remember. Thank you. How are you? I'm pregnant. He cried. Am I allowed to? I don't know yet. You get to know about the baby, but you don't get to be grandpa. Not yet. Maybe not ever. That depends on you. I understand. July 30th. Gender reveal. Just Ben and me. It's a girl. I broke down completely. It's a girl. Like Catherine. Like me. 3 generations. I want her middle name to be Catherine. I don't know the first name yet, but Catherine has to be in it. August. Foundation's first major event since the scandal. Catherine's Hope Gala. I gave a speech. First public speech. My name is Sarah Mitchell. 6 months ago, I found out the woman who raised me lied about my identity for 28 years. I found out my real mother died the day I was born. Her name was Catherine Marie Hayes, and she loved me. She loved me so much that in her final hours, she made her sister promise to raise me with love. That promise was broken. But Catherine's love wasn't. It's in this foundation. It's in every child we help. Every child deserves to know the truth. Every child deserves to be loved. That's Catherine's legacy. Standing ovation. Event raised $180,000. Coffee with Rebecca. I'm thinking about asking you to be the baby's godmother. Rebecca stunned. Sarah, are you sure? No, but you've shown up. You've been honest. You've changed. And I think kids need adults in their lives who understand what it's like to realize you were wrong and actually work to fix it. That's you. I'll spend the rest of my life earning that title. September 15th, 2026. My 28th birthday. 28th anniversary of Catherine's death. Day I was born. Small gathering at our house. Ben's family. Patricia and Catherine's family members. My closest friends. Rebecca. Charles arrived late, left early. Not a party. A memorial and celebration. Photos displayed. Catherine's photos. My baby photos. Ultrasound images. Catherine's watercolors on every wall. Garden with sunflowers? Ben stood for a toast. Today is complicated. It's Sarah's 28th birthday. It's the day her mother died. It's the day her mother gave her life. And in 3 months, it's the day Sarah will become a mother herself. Catherine Marie Hayes died believing her daughter would be loved. She was wrong about who would love Sarah, but she was right that Sarah deserved it. Today, we're here to say, Catherine, we love her. We see her. We celebrate her. And we'll make sure your granddaughter knows who you were. To Catherine, who loved her daughter enough to trust. To Sarah, who was strong enough to survive. And to the next generation, may they grow up knowing the truth from day one. To Catherine, everyone, to Catherine, I stood, 28 weeks pregnant, visibly showing. 6 months ago, I thought I knew who I was. I thought I was the daughter my mother didn't quite love enough. I thought something about me was broken. Now I know the truth. I'm the daughter my mother died to bring into this world. I'm the daughter she wanted so badly that she begged her sister to love me. I'm the daughter she named Princess because she thought I deserved the world. I'm also the daughter who survived 28 years of lies, who married a man who fought for me, who found family where blood failed, who learned that love isn't biology, it's choice. This baby, hand on belly, is going to know all of it. She's going to know about Catherine, about her art, about her courage, about her love. The baby kicked hard. She agrees. Laughter. If you're hearing this story and you've always felt like the less than kid in your family, trust that instinct. If someone's love comes with conditions or criticism or constant comparison, that's not love. That's control. You deserve to know your own story. You deserve truth. You deserve people who fight for you, not against you. Sometimes the family who loves you best isn't the one you were born into, it's the one you choose, or the one that chooses you back. If this story resonated with you, if you survived something similar, I'd love to hear your story. You're not alone. Sun setting, standing in the garden of sunflowers, Catherine's necklace, silver songbird around my neck, Ben's hand on my belly, Rebecca at the edge, watching, cautiously part of family now, Patricia showing me a photo of Catherine pregnant. Mirror image. My name is Sarah Catherine Mitchell. I'm 28 years old. And for the first time in my life, I know exactly who I am.